It's 86 days to the presidential and parliamentary elections, and from our studios here in Accra and around the world, this is the Pulse here on Joy News. My name is Elton Boi, and this afternoon, our conversation on illegal mining continues. Coming up, the stage is set for what possibly could be the shutdown of the Ghanaian economy after government rejected organized labor's demand for a ban on all forms of mining around water bodies and in forest reserves.
Who are mining responsibly, who are contributing to our national economy, who are employing hundreds and thousands of Ghanaian youth who have committed no crime. So if you announce a ban tomorrow, it means that you have to look at the consequences on the national economy.
And of course, we'll hear from many groups mounting pressure on government to stop all forms of mining near water bodies and in forest reserves, including the Chamber of Agribusiness, which is demanding the resignation of the Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu-Jinapor. Also this afternoon, NDC demands immediate dismissal and prosecution of the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, Pius Enam Hajide, following comments that he will help his constituents move to the United States of America for the World Cup after successfully sending others to Australia for the Olympic Games. And if you are thinking of owning your own home, well, we are building up this afternoon to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2024, which opens in Accra tomorrow. And as always, the Pulse is brought to you by Global Communities Digilu, affordable sanitation for all. We are live on channel 421 on DSTV 125 on GoTV. We are also live on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and of course, on myjoyonline.com. For these and more, stay right there. My name is Elton Boi. This is The Pulse. As always, I would like to know what you make of what is happening and your possible solution to deal with the illegal mining menace. Send your comments via our social media handles, because we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, X, and of course, myjoyonline.com. Now, the stage is almost set for what could possibly be the shutdown of the Ghanaian economy after government rejected organized labor's demand for a ban on all forms of mining around water bodies and in forest reserves. At the news conference yesterday, the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, backed by the Catholic Bishop Conference, the Christian Council, Organized Labor and Civil Society Organization, did not mince words about their demand, but Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu-Jinapor does not think so. He believes such action will be too draconian and will hurt the economy in the long run. This afternoon, we bring you all stakeholders together to discuss this with a focus on the key issues on our polluted water bodies. First, though, take a look at the voices making the demands for the ban and declaration of state of emergency around the river bodies. So we have the Ghana Water Company. They triggered this latest conversation. We've got the University Teachers Association of Ghana, that's UTAG. Organized Labor, the Asantehene is also made a similar call for an action to deal with the polluted water bodies by illegal mining. The Media Coalition Against Galamsey. There's also the Christian Council and Catholic Bishop Conference, and there's also the Apostolic Fathers of Ghana and the Peasant Farmers Association. So these are the voices, or these are the groups so far that have come up to demand certain action. And yesterday also brought you the pharmaceuticals and then those in the health sector, all of them making similar demand. Now, at the news conference yesterday, the president of the Catholic Bishop Conference did not mince words about their demand. Take a listen.
Despite the existence of environmental protection laws, their enforcement has been weak and inconsistent. Corruption, complicity of political leaders, some chiefs, and the lack of political will have further exacerbated the problem, allowing illegal mining to thrive unchecked. We wish to state that Ghanaians can no longer tolerate the lip service of government of whatever color in the fight against Galamsey.
The Galamsey menace has polluted our land, soil, and water bodies with chemicals like mercury, chlorine, cyanide, and arsenic, which are harmful to humans. While we ask God to change the hearts of these perpetrators, we wish to state that such sinful acts against humanity should not be tolerated. We urge government, concerned agencies and institutions, and all Ghanaians to be bold and courageous to sustain the campaign against illegal mining. We demand that any individual, security service personnel, politician, or chief found to be working towards the fight against illegal mining should be made to face the full rigors of the law.
And of course, this afternoon, the voices are even louder, with some of the country's biggest men of God joining forces to demand action against illegal mining. So, what you've seen on the screen, this statement came in around 9 a.m. this morning. And apart from the Catholic Bishop Conference, the Christian Council, they made their call yesterday. Now, we are getting more Christian leaders, men of God, also add to this call for some kind of action. And they are demanding a temporary ban on illegal mining. And we have Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams of the Action Chapel, Archbishop Charles Ajinasa of the Perez Chapel, Bishop Dakeward Mills of Lighthouse, Apostle General Sankwanchanka, the Royal Chapel, Bishop Timore Boi, Reverend Eastwood Anaba, Reverend Dr. Robert Ampia Kofi. So these are the latest voices to the call on government to do something urgent about the issue of illegal mining. The government has responded yesterday at a news conference. We're going to bring you that pretty soon. So these are the latest voices. We also have Reverend Steve Mensah, Bishop Gordon Kisei, Bishop Victor Say of the Family Chapel in Kumasi, Bishop Dr. Opon Edujemfi, Bishop Dr. Samuel Mensah, Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwai, and of course, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete. And in fact, the number is about 20, and all of them are demanding same. Reverend Dr. Isaac Kwe, Right Reverend Dr. Anyeni Bwadum, and Reverend Dr. Seth Ablo. And they are demanding temporary ban on illegal mining in the country. And the demand will bring that to you pretty shortly so that you can appreciate what they are asking for. And I'll bring it down on your screen. Declare a state of emergency, same, repeat LI 2462 and halt mining in forest reserve, seize and destroy illegal mining equipment, launch a political campaign against Galamsey, provide sustainable employment alternatives. These are among the demands that the over 20 men of God are asking the President and, of course, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister to do. So, is government listening? And what is the position of government? The Lands and Natural Resources Minister has been responding. Listen. And of course, yesterday at a media engagement, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Samuel Abujinapo, said the President also has directed the decommissioning of illegal mining equipment if necessary.
So the various regional security councils have been tasked to conduct recognizance, scrutiny of their various jurisdictions, and begin to roll out suits and enhance the enforcement regime, the details of which I think we all agree I should withhold for the time being. But in the days and weeks to come, we will see a heightened or ramped up enforcement where we've decided that they should use local resources. In other words, the resources at the disposal of the various RESEX, because as you know, the RESEX have police, they have military, they have this, they have that. And the regular law enforcement apparatus of the state, which is the Ghana Police Service, should be the first port of call If the need arises, we will take it a step further to the armed forces. If the need arises, we will possibly begin once again the extraordinary measure of decommissioning equipment used for illegal small-scale mining. The Minerals Commission is also to double up its reformative measures.
Right, so that is the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, and he makes the point that if the demand for a total ban on illegal mining is met, the consequences will be that the economy may collapse because of the contribution of mining to the Ghanaian economy.
As of June, gold alone accounted for 54% of our foreign exchange earnings as a country. Small-scale mining accounts for 40% of our gold output. So if you take 40% out of 100%, it means that our foreign exchange earning will deplete by 40%. There are people who are involved in responsible small-scale mining who have invested millions of cedis and millions of dollars, who are mining responsibly, who are reclaiming the landscape, who are contributing to our national economy, who are employing hundreds and thousands of Ghanaian youth who have committed no crime. So if you announce a ban tomorrow, it means that you have to look at the consequences on the national economy, which obviously will be catastrophic, which will be literally rendering our country bankrupt if you want. You have to look at the investments of these people. You have to look at the employment of Ghanaians. On top of it, we have gone down that road before. Think that we should be fighting illegal small-scale mining or take the approach of banning small-scale mining, then you will still have the illegalities anyway. There's no guarantee that if you ban small-scale mining, the illegal small-scale miners will still not persevere or persist. So I'm reluctant to give a definitive position on this matter. I think the discussion should go on. But it's not as simple as banning small-scale mining, all forms of small-scale mining.
So the key question this afternoon is, will the economy collapse once small-scale mining is halted? That's the question we are seeking to find answers to. And my guest this afternoon is Daryl Bosu, Deputy Director of Arusha. Daryl, welcome.
Thank you very much.
And of course, we've got other guests who are joining us via Zoom. We'll wait to hear from Peter Tekpe, he's a policy analyst. Anthony Kofitio Morrison, the CEO, Chamber of Agribusiness. Anthony, good afternoon. Welcome to the Pulse. And also, we'll be speaking to Austin Game. He's a labor expert. We'll bring all of them on when you're ready. But let me start with Daryl. So, Daryl, yesterday you emceed the program at the International Press Center. Yesterday and then now, apart from the statement that came from the minister and the subsequent engagement with the media, have you gotten any direct response to the demands that you put out yesterday?
Thank you very much for having me here. And I must say that since yesterday, we've not been able to we've not received any direct engagement from government. All we have seen is a couple of messages or statements that has come from the Minister for Lands, and also now we are hearing that after government or the president had met with some other security experts, they are, now rolling out some decisions that we are yet to know. But I think everything that we need to know, we are getting to hear it in the media. And that's why we are taking the steps to actually write to them and also officially demand a sitting, because we are not convinced by some of the decisions that are already taken. And also some of the statements we've heard that even when it comes to the position we have, the demands we have raised, it's too draconian and all of that. We think that the government is not listening, is not paying critical attention. And I have to tell you, it's been the case where this government always justifies everything with the economic returns, economic benefit. I think nobody, as they've been very critical in scrutinizing how much we really getting from gold mining. I want to ask government if they've taken the time to also analyze the economic impact on the land degradation, the economic impact on the water pollution, the economic impact on our health. Have they put it all together and then done an analysis, the opportunity cost analysis, and asked ourselves, is it good for Ghana to continue on this pathway where, because we think gold mining contributes significantly to the economy, we let people do whatever they want? I don't think even with the data he has presented, we've taken our time to ask ourselves, how much of all of that is illegal and how much is legal?
Right.
We know already from statistics that about 30% of the revenue from gold mining is illegal. How do we trace that? How do we account for that? And from all of these illegalities, we see also the other repercussions on our water, on our land for food. Now, these are issues that is related to maybe present and future.
Right.
But I guess they are looking at what is coming in now. And I think the discussion should look beyond just the economics.
Okay, so now that you started on the foot of the economy, let's exhaust that. So the minister's argument is that, for example, now, if you want to look at the country's foreign exchange earning, gold is bringing us more, but gold is number one. And that's gold contribution to our foreign exchange earning is about 51%. According to him, out of the 51%, small-scale mining contribute 40% out of the 51%. So these multinational companies we have, their contribution is just around 11 or maximum 12%.
Shut it down.
And so, if you want to say, let's put a ban on legal mining, you are virtually saying that we should lose 40% of our foreign exchange earning. The repercussion again is that they will have serious impact on the economy. Jobs will be lost. And there are also people who are doing genuine jobs. I mean, they have license to mine. They are doing safe mining.
Yeah.
And they've employed people. You describe them as very good people. So why do you want to deal with few miscreants and then destroy your economy? That's the argument of the minister. Is this an argument that finds favor with you?
So I have to agree that the minister makes very fair arguments, talking about the illegalities within the mining sector, who can benefit, and the impact, if we should say that small-scale mining, everything should be shut down. I think it is up to the minister and the government to appreciate the fact that even we who claim that we are sort of implementing a very well-regulated mining sector, we have not taken our time to break it down in terms of who is really doing the legal things and who is doing the illegal things. And when we're even talking about legality, there's the aspect of you having the license, which then gives you the go-ahead, and then there's also the aspect of you complying
with the rules
governing your license. So these two aspects of it, has the government really taken its time to even do the segregation for all of us, instead of boxing everything together? And that is why if you don't take care, you have demands that says that let's ban small-scale mining. I think it is up to us to be very critical, go deep down and be incisive and segregate those who are really illegal from those who are legal. Until we do that, we always box everything together. Right. And I've seen the statement from the Chamber of Small-Scale Mining Industries also really complaining about we tending to box all of them together.
Exactly.
I think there's a difference. And for the technical experts on the field, we know the difference. And when we are talking about going after those who are doing illegal mining, we are talking about those people who are not complying to the rules regulating the permits they have, those who don't have the necessary permit to even get on the ground in the first place. That is what we are talking about. And that is the distinction they as a government need to deploy the intelligence services we have, the regulatory mechanism we have at the MinCom to make sure that this is done. It is not just to say they are demanding all small-scale mining should be shut down, so you also go ahead and you need to do the work. We are putting a challenge them to do the work. And that's why I think that they should spend time to do, not just to say it's not possible.
Let me bring in Peter Tepe. Peter Tepe is a policy analyst. Peter, good afternoon. Welcome to the pod. So you've been listening to, I'm sure you followed the news. Yesterday, the demand was made. Today, people are still making similar demands. Government, in a way, responded. There was a national security meeting. Let's start with the economic implications that the minister says that banning it will be too injurious to the economy of the country. So let's find a way to agree on the long-term solution rather than say that because some people are undertaking illegal activities, let's shut it down completely and then hurt the economy in the process. What is your reaction to this? And if you can, unmute for me, Peter. Right, so I will try and get Peter's attention, but let's look at the economic implications as we discuss this matter even further. So, focus on small-scale mining. 43% of national gold production comes from small-scale mining. I mean, that's according to the government. Now, about 1 million Ghanaians are directly employed in the sector, and this is what we were able to glean. And so the minister's argument is that if what is being demanded is enforced, the 1 million people who are employed in the small-scale sector will lose their jobs. And the contribution it makes to the Ghanaian economy will also stop. And the implication is something that the country cannot, hold on to. So, Peter, I guess I have your attention now. What is your reaction to the economic implications we are likely to face if a ban is imposed on small-scale mining? We don't appear to have Peter's attention. We'll go back to him.
Hello?
Yes, Peter, I can hear you now. So,
okay.
Yes, we are looking at the economic implications. The government has laid the facts on the table. If we should ban, we run the risk of running down the Ghanaian economy. Is it a position you think should be given attention?
Look, if the economy didn't collapse during COVID, when the entire economy was shut down, both the private, government, almost every institution was shut down during COVID time, and the country didn't collapse, then I think that one aspect of the economy, not even the entire, but just an aspect of the industry, because don't forget that mining is still going on with institutions at a higher level. This is small-scale mining. And so this will not collapse the economy. This will not affect the economy such a way that we'll be deprived of much revenue. Don't forget that what we want to do is to preserve resources such that with generations to come, just as we are also experiencing now, we are benefiting from it now, they also come and benefit from it. So I will tell you that the economy will not shut down because we have gone past the situation where we say that the economy will shut down when it comes to small-scale mining.
But the
because
facts are clear.
it's just an example for us.
Yeah, Peter, if you can hear me, the facts are clear. I mean, gold contribution to our foreign exchange earning, 51%. According to the minister, small-scale mining contribution about 40% of that 51%. That obviously will stop.
What happens to the economies that do not have gold? What happens to the economy that do not have resources like us in Ghana? Gold is not the only mineral, gold is not the only resource we have. It's not the only revenue stream of income that we have. And so let us be very careful here. We are talking about issues that affect the economy fundamentally, such that essential commodity like essential item like water is being deprived here. And so if we are saying that because we are going to lose revenue, and so we should allow ourselves to be deprived of very important things like water, then there is something fundamentally wrong. And we are not saying that we are banning it entirely, but we are saying that temporarily, let's put it on hold whilst we find a very sustainable way of doing it. We don't have to wait till we are going in for a loan from international organizations for them to tell us that go and ban small-scale mining before we do that. Because see, if assuming that IMF is giving us money or World Bank is giving us money tomorrow and say, stop illegal mining and make sure that you get everything correct before we give you this money, I can assure you that government will comply. And we don't want to wait till that time. We can do that now. It is not banning it entirely, but we say temporarily, so that we can be able to correct the system in place. Let me give a typical example, for instance. Assuming there's a curfew somewhere, don't forget that when the curfew is imposed, it does not only affect those who are involved in it. Innocent people who are not even involved and do not know anything about it, all of them comply by this curfew. And so it is not the case that when you impose it, because some people's livelihood is going to be deprived and Ghana is going to lose some amount of revenue as a result, let's allow it to go on. The reason is that those doing the Galamsey are not the one digging this pit that we are seeing or polluting the waters. It is as a result of these small-scale miners. After their activity, then these people go in, and then this is what they do to pollute the waters, because they don't have the equipment that the small-scale miners have. But after the small-scale miners have finished their work, then they go back and they pollute the economy. So if we are saying that we want to make sure that we correct it, then it is very important for us to temporarily put it on hold until we get everything correct and let them understand the situation before we come on. That's what everybody is saying. And I think that this is very simple for all of us to understand.
All right, let's just stay with the numbers. And Francis Timore Boi is a tax expert, a member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation in Ghana. Francis, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Elton.
Right, so, we've heard the numbers by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Question really is that the people that we are after, their contribution to our tax revenue, is it really significant such that we cannot let them go?
Elton, I beg to differ on that point because by default, illegal operators or illegal miners do not pay taxes. Under the mining law, if you start getting your license, you are supposed to pay 5% royalty to the government.
Right.
And that is on your gross produce. Aside that, government also has 10% what we call the carried interest on whatever you produce. Then below the belt, we have something we call the mineral income tax, which is 35% on your profits. Those who operate in this shadow economy do not pay any of this amount.
At all.
Remember, we're not talking about the legal ones, like the new ones who have been operating for several years.
Right.
The focus is on these people who are not rather contributing to the economy by paying the right taxes. Unless the minister is saying that, look, we ourselves go and buy the produce of these illegal activities, which is, again, an issue. If, excuse me to say, producing weed is illegal, what happens to the person who buys the weed? Do we now legalize it? So it's a whole conversation. We need to be able to identify who are those doing the illegal operations. And like Peter said, if the government or people who, the small scale miners, they are the same people who go and buy these illegal products, then we have to bring all of them to book. But as far as tax is concerned, they are rather causing tax evasion and a serious revenue loss to the government than what we are talking about, proceeds from the export of the gold.
So basically what you're saying that because first, we cannot even identify them. Secondly, because they are doing illegal business, there's no paper trail. There's nothing you can hold them to. So even as they are destroying the environment, they are also not paying whatever should be paid to the state. Exactly.
35% tax. The guy who goes in the night to go and do, and you see the way they are they are digging. This is not 1,000, 2,000 cedis amount of digging. It is a huge amount of money they are making. The question is, how much royalties did they pay to the state? Did government collect the 10% carried interest in the produce? Did government collect the 35% corporate tax from the mineral operation? I don't have the data, but I believe it is no. So they are rather causing revenue loss to the state than what we are anticipating that they are bringing in more revenue.
I think the difficulty here, and perhaps Daryl will also help us understand it better, is how we are able to differentiate between those that are doing legal small-scale mining and those who have taken advantage of the cover of legal small-scale mining and undertaking this illegality. The difficulty in establishing this fact, and that's the reason why perhaps there's a call for a temporary ban so that we can sanitize the system. But I'm interested in the contribution of really mining itself to our tax revenue, because the minister makes it clear that in the absence of this, run the risk of running down the country.
Like I said, unless we go around buying the illegal product and then export them, I think 2023, the mineral royalty that we have collected, including all the big mining operations, is less than 3 billion Ghana cedis. When these small-scale miners go to sell their produce, they are supposed to pay 1.5% withholding tax.
Right.
Go around the GRA offices and ask how much has been collected. Nothing. We don't have any figure available.
And this we are making reference to the licensed small-scale miners.
Exactly. So unless the licensed operators themselves give their leases, their land to these illegal people, which we can also hold them responsible, we don't have any data that suggests that if we start banning the small-scale mining, we are going to lose. I beg to differ.
And that for me is where my difficulty lies, because the minister says that 40% in terms of our foreign exchange earning, 40%, in fact 51% from the mining sector, 40% out of the 51 is from the small scale mining industry. So
correct.
The fact, according to him, is clear. And if he is able to establish a figure around this, then it should be easier for them to get the needed revenue out of it. Shouldn't that be the case?
100%, you are right. So that 40%, which mining lease is it coming from? Which site, which concession are we getting that 40% from? That is the question that we need a minister to be able to answer to us. That the 40% that you are talking about, it is from, let's say, a Tiwa mining site, or it is from 23 mining operators. If we're able to segregate that one, then we'll know the other mining sites, the ones close to the river bodies, how much are they producing, and it's owned by who? These are the questions. And again, you see, if you look at the CITG's press statement that they issued,
right,
we should not be focusing only on the miners, those who are buying it. We should also be looking for them. Who are those who supply the chemicals? How does the chemical get into this country? The machines, the champagnes, who imported them? Can't we simply track these things and be able to deal with the illegal mining? This is not a rocket science. We should be able to know them.
But forgive me if I'm wrong, but my understanding has always been that for the small-scale miner, the PMEC is usually the main buyer.
You are right.
For our gold.
PMMC is the only buyer in Ghana. So PMMC, the produce that you bought, where is it from? Who and who are producing those ones? That is the question. I mean, the data, we know gold is not like, cassava. This is highly regulated. So we should not be having these challenges where we are saying that if we ban it, we're going to affect a lot of people. We know people who are doing the proper thing. Newmont is not affected in any way. Takwa gold miners, they are not affected in any way. We know that people who are doing these things do not possess the right licenses. And the land or the site in which they are operating does not belong to the rightful people. So we should be able to deal with the matter. And so we cannot come and say that, well, if we ban it, the country is going to suffer. I think that already we are suffering by refusing to bring these people into the right tax environment. Let them pay the royalties of 5%, corporate tax of 35%, then the carried interest of 10%. If you put these things together, government is losing than properly regulating them.
All right, I'll come back to you so that we'll look at other ways forward, because I know you're also a lawyer, so we'll look at the other. So, Daryl, so when you say temporary ban, for how long?
Well, I think maybe before I answer that, you talked about how do we really determine who is doing legal mining. We've gone a long way.
Because the claim is that some people have gotten licenses, but they are going beyond their...
Yes, since 2018, Menzgold has really gone to some structural innovation and also improvement in terms of the way they work. By now, we should have, I'm sure they have a very good record of all the small-scale mining licenses and concessions in the country.
Right.
We should be able to pick them out even on satellite and on our screens and all of that. So we are actually able to, if they say they are not, I'll be very disappointed. Because we've come so far. They now have a website where you can find almost all the mining concessions. Those approved, how many years they're supposed to be working, those who are now applying, the state of even the application, everything is on there. So we need to have the capacity. If you don't have the capacity, and that is why I tend to agree with what Francis is saying, that we need to segregate between those who are really legal. If we don't do that, we always have the minister putting forward some of these figures that he's doing. Because he's not really, he's only going after the figures he knows, but the question, who are the people really contributing to 43% that he's talking about? And then all the pollution that we have, if these people really are legal, how is it that they are polluting our rivers? How is it that they are really destroying our forests? So then we go after them. So I think at this point, we really need to pay attention to those and ask ourselves, how is government going to ensure that whatever they do, it is really in line with segregating, finding who is really responsible, and that's a blanket action in terms of, that's why I said that if you ask me, what is a temporal ban? I think it's very clear. We did that. There was a ban between 2017, 2018, end of 2018. And
did that ban yield any positive results?
So I've always said, it is what you do during the ban that is important, not your declaration that there is a ban. So it depends on what you decide to do. Do you put in place sufficient compliance mechanism? Do you put in place sufficient deterrent actions? Do you put in place sufficient restoration actions within the ban period? Do you sanitize the regime, the licensing? Do you do all of that? If you just announce that there is a ban and you still allow people to go behind the ban and operate, it's always going to fail.
Because the minister yesterday was clear that this call for a ban is not new. Similar calls were made. In fact, the government took a decision to ban small-scale mining for 2 years after the president...
I think it was an ineffective ban.
Yes, and then he himself is asking that we should have a national discourse to look at the impact of that, how it affected the economy and jobs, and whether the ban was able to achieve the intended purpose.
You see, right now, the discussion is beyond whether it's affecting the economy or jobs. Now, it's also about other sectors of the economy that this illegality is affecting. We have not quantified how much this is impacting on our water supply and water services. We've not quantified the impact on our cocoa. If you go to reported literature and articles on Ghana's cocoa situation right now, they all agree that yes, climate change is indeed having an impact, but in Ghana, it's the illegal mining that is really having a significant toll on production. Have we quantified that? I'm surprised he just talks about the contribution of mining and fails to talk about the other sectors of the economy that mining is affecting.
But according to the Reuters, Ghana loses $700 million in cocoa export revenue as Galamsey activities, smuggling and crop disease continue to hamper you. This according to
Exactly.
Reuters.
That's why I have a problem when we're always talking about the revenue from the gold alone and not talking about the trade-offs. We get the gold, but at what cost? At what price? At what cost of lives? Now, when this mining thing started, the impunity and all of that, we tried to do an analysis of even the fatalities alone. People who have died in the pits, people who the pits have collapsed on them and all that.
Do we have figures on that?
If you pick all the data from the media reportage, NADMO reports and all of that, and trying to truncate the data, you'll be surprised what you get. Not less than 1,000 fatalities just in the pits alone and on the mining side. Nobody is paying attention.
Are we aware within what period? And these are even reported cases.
No, these are reported cases, but there are points where you can confirm all of these. So NADMO and also the reports that come, you can really do a very incisive analysis and come to a very good conclusion. Okay. So I think that it is not enough for the minister to put out there that the economy is going to shut down if you shut down the small-scale mining sector. That's why I said it is the responsibility of the state to determine who is legal, who is not. If by now as a state, we cannot pinpoint where every licensed small-scale mining, then we have failed, even in the regulation of the mining regime. So we're saying that go and regulate it means that do the right thing, be very thorough in the application of the intelligence, in the application of the tools and innovation out there to get to the people who are doing it. And that's why if you look at the statement from the joint coalition of several CSOs, the Catholic Bishop Conference and all of that, we said that let's get all miners off 100-meter buffer areas of our rivers and streams. That's, I'm telling you, is a one-stop shop to deal with all of these issues.
Government appears not to
well,
be in favor
because they
of this.
know what they themselves are involved in. Because I'm telling you, you see, and there has also been this talk about the minister saying that he thinks that even the call for state of emergency is draconian.
Exactly.
See, countries like Peru, South Africa, and even China themselves have been at this point where we find ourselves now. They have had to call for a state of emergency in particular places where the impunity was so much so they could address the issue. This is actually the least we can ask of our government. That look, based on the pollution, the exposure, the risks now and the future, you need to prioritize our welfare over the so-called economic returns. And I'm telling you, if we shut down the gold industry right now, I mean the small-scale industry, it's not something I will propose be done, but even if we decide to do that, Ghana is not going to collapse as he's saying.
All right.
It's not.
Let me again bring in Peter and, of course, Francis. Peter, so you've heard the arguments, you've heard the minister, and again, the minister yesterday said that, so the instruction to the regional ministers is that they should use local resources to fight the menace of Galamsey in their community. So, for example, President directed after the National Security Meeting that there should be the deployment of police and possibly the military. And then also, if possible, they should start the process of decommissioning some of these mining equipments. So we are basically back to what we started in 2017. You think this will work? Again, if you can unmute for me, Peter.
We have done this earlier on when the president indicated that he is putting his presidency on the line. And unfortunately, we didn't get the result that we are supposed to. And for me, the minister should have been happy that something he wished to achieve, now the entire country is calling for that. And he should have been happy to say that during his time as a minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Ghana has deployed the most aggressive solution to fight this menace. And I think posterity will live to, appreciate him for that. So this looks like he had the passion to fight it, but the political will is not there. So if now the citizens have come out and everybody is calling for it, then I think he should rather be happy. The reason is that the consequences of what we are talking of is not for this generation, but generation yet to even be born. And I think it is very important that he understands. But there's something that I think is causing a gap here. They might not see the criticalness of the nature of the issue we are talking about, and maybe they pay visit.
You think they are not seeing it because of some other considerations?
That might be the situation.
I'm asking, are you absolutely certain that they don't appreciate the enormity of the situation that we have, or possibly there are other considerations that is making it difficult for them to take the action that is required to decisively deal with this matter?
Yes, I think they are not appreciating it. And the reason is that they might have not paid visit to this site to see the enormity. The reason is that these are human beings. And they are in leadership position because they want to, solve the economic problems of this country. And a very critical issue of this nature, look at what we are seeing. You think that if they should pay visit to this site and see the enormity of what we are talking about, as human beings, I don't think that, they will not heed to what everybody is calling for. And I think that is the gap. I'm sure that even though they heard what is happening, the president, the ministers, and the key stakeholders, I'm sure, and in political position, have not paid visit to this site to see what is actually on the ground. And I think when they pay visit to see what is on the ground by themselves, they will then appreciate the reason why everybody is calling for a temporary ban. The reason is that whatever money they are making now, these people who are making this money today, that they are saying is bringing income to the economy, they will get to a certain age where they will need medical attention. And the problem they are creating now will then become a burden on our health facilities as a result of this, and will not have enough resources to handle these health challenges. That is why it's important that we create this situation for them. Yeah, so they don't understand the enormity of what we are talking about at all.
All right. Francis, again, help me here. I understand you are also a legal practitioner.
Yes, Elton. So,
right. So I think my question is, because your initial comments, you made reference to the chemicals that come into the country, whether and how they are able to get into the country. The Asantehene this week, when you met some of your members in, I don't know whether you were there, said, asked a very important question. It says, when somebody pollutes the river body, are there not laws in our books to hold them responsible for endangering the lives of hundreds and thousands of people? We don't appear to see, and then this thing happens on a daily basis, and we have this spectacle of a river that's now turned into something else. Don't we have laws?
100% right, Elton. And for me, we have ignored the other implications of the activities, like Darius in studio said. we ignore the other implications and focus on just a very narrow part of what this illegal mining is bringing, the water pollution. Look at even what the doctors are saying. Babies are born deformed because of somebody's quest for money. These are things that we can easily stop. And again, Elton, you see that we are tackling the issue from only the production point of view.
Right.
The suppliers. Who are the buyers? Because in every market, if there's no demand, there won't be supply.
Absolutely.
So, like the Otunfo said, there are people who are supplying and there are people who are buying. And this is where we may need DNI and the police intelligence. Who are those behind the market? Is it the legal small-scale miners who turn around in the night to go and buy this produce? Can we use intelligence to identify them that they are indirectly promoting illegality? Let's do that. Again, we are also calling on IMF. From a tax perspective, I think this is a serious tax evasion. And IMF, we know that they are behind most of these tax policies that we are seeing. We have countries who depend on natural resources for the running of their economy. If Ghana has huge gold mine and people are engaging in it and they don't pay the right taxes, the mineral royalty, the corporate income tax, IMF should be bold enough to address this in their revenue measures as they keep on focusing on, for example, the taxation of household electricity consumption. They should be able to come and say something about this issue.
All right.
Again, we are saying
Yes, please go on.
Yeah, again, we are saying that, look, let's not just consider the fact that we are going to lose revenue from the export of those gold. In any case, in 2018, the president said that Dubai was saying they had imported $7 billion of gold from Ghana, whilst we
exported less than $1 billion.
Exactly, we were just reporting $2 billion. So does it mean that the illegal gold gets exported from our airport to Dubai? Money is going to private pockets.
In fact,
we are rather losing.
I don't know whether you remember this very interesting story that was published by Reuters. This about 5-6 years ago, where a Chinese national who came to Ghana, he was boasting on YouTube that he came to Ghana with $100,000 and went home with almost $2 million from gold business he came to Ghana to do.
These are evidence. So we cannot defend the illegal mining. We can, no matter what. And like Peter and Dara have said, nothing will happen to this economy. We are rather losing than we are gaining. So if we need to ban it temporarily to be able to put our records together, let's identify those who own what mining concession in order to properly regulate them for them to pay their fair share of the taxes.
Right.
Let's do that. We can't continue.
But my final question to you, Francis. The Attorney General at the Bar Conference said so far 850 people are being prosecuted. At least government is doing something around this matter, isn't it?
No, I don't think it is enough. Look, we are prosecuting them, but it's still ongoing. Like I said, if you focus on those who produce weed and you don't focus on those who buy and utilize it, you are also promoting illegality. 800 people prosecuted. Okay, did we retrieve anything from them? In taxation, the illegality of the activity does not exempt the income. So the people we have prosecuted, did we go back and assess them to tax? No. So if you don't catch me, what happens? Do I continue to do it? If I'm able to use all powers to escape arrest, do I continue to do the pollution? These are simple things that we should be able to handle. And we know where the illegality is happening.
All right, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Francis, for joining this conversation. Let me now move to labor experts, Mr. Austin Gami. Mr. Gami, a pleasure to have you here on the pulse. And we are obviously sitting on a time bomb. Organized labor, they've given government up to the end of September to do something about what is happening. Otherwise, they will declare a nationwide, strike. Same has come from the University Teachers Association. So clearly, government has maximum 2 weeks to do something. Government has announced something. We are sending the military and the police back into the Galamsey field to ensure sanity. I mean, to what extent must government do in terms of doing more to change the mind of organized labor and UTAG so that the economy is not shut down?
I'm unmuted. I cannot hear your voice. Can I? Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, so I was asking, we are obviously at a crossroad. Organized labor, they've indicated they will embark on a strike action across the country.
I'm unable to hear your voice.
Okay, we'll rectify that and come to you, Mr. Gami. But Darrell, so the minister again says that they've instructed the regional ministers to send the police, if possible, the military, and if possible, again, the decommission of mining equipment. What's your take on it?
Thank you, Elton. So you see, what I'm very anxious about is that we're not repeating the mistakes of when we deployed Operation Vanguard and Operation Halt. I really don't want us to, say we are deploying the military and we still get to that point where we achieve nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm really very anxious about everything already. Have we really taken time to plan this? I remember I was listening to, even on this platform, discussions about why Operation Vanguard and Operation Halt failed. Mm-hmm. And one of the key reasons was the fact that it wasn't very well coordinated and it wasn't well planned in terms of even the intelligence around and everything. Mm-hmm. And then eventually we saw also the corruption that crept in and all of that.
Including even some of the same security
agencies. What is the guarantee that even what they said they are doing now, where are the stop gaps? Where are the points where we said, okay, the intelligence is sufficient, nobody can really come and say, look, go this way instead of this path. We saw the report, and we all were in this country when the former Minister for Environment, Professor Frimpong, talked about their plans to deal with Galamsey, the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, what they set out to do, and how the efforts were derailed by people within government. Mm-hmm. What is the guarantee now that this will not happen again? So for me, I wouldn't say I'm happy to hear the president say that they've asked the military and able to go down on a crackdown. But what exactly is the detail of that particular operation?
Let me see.
That is something that we need to
yes, I'll come back to that. Let me see if I can get to the ears of Mr. Austin Gami. Mr. Gami, good afternoon, and I'm guessing now you can hear me. Mr. Gami, if you can unmute for me, and if you can hear me, good afternoon, sir.
I'm unable to hear your voice.
Well, I guess we'll have to rectify this. Yes, so he obviously cannot hear me. We'll rectify that and then see if we can have a meaningful comment. There's also another issue we are keeping an eye on. The Electoral Commission has a news conference to respond to a lot of issues around the voters register and those who are also filing their nominations today. We are live at the Electoral Commission head office in some few minutes to bring you that latest update on that. So we were talking about the deployment to these mining areas. There's also the flip side of it where the minister admits that government is getting a lot of pushback from people within the government itself who are asking, why do you want to take such an exercise 3 months to the elections? And so, the difficulty exists even within their own circles.
That's very sad to hear. It tells you that even governments and people within government and their own functionaries are prioritizing their own interests over the interests of the nation. There is no public interest here by he saying that there's a pushback within his government. That is something he shouldn't be telling us.
But also emphasize the fact that despite all of this, the government is motivated by the interests of the people. That is how government continues to take such decisions.
And I think Peter said something. This is an opportunity for this government to say, we acted in the interest of the people by taking this. What more are they waiting to see? Just look at the voices of reason that has come out since 2 days ago. What more are they waiting to hear before they said, we are going to do this in the interest of Ghana and not in the interest of the MPP or his government? What more do they want? I'm actually totally shocked. There is every opportunity for them now to demonstrate that, look, citizens are crying for a halt to Galamsey. They have put forward some actions. Go out there, use intelligence services, and get it done. And I think that this is an opportunity they cannot miss. If they just sit back there and give us excuses why it is difficult, then I think that's unfortunate.
But again, on the other side, there's also those who are seeking to lead this country in 2025, and they are seemingly silenced on the call for a ban and the other demands.
You know, I think one of the demands that came from the joint action from the media coalition and others was the fact that we want all the aspiring flag bearers, the flag bearers of the MPP and NDC, to commit to this crisis response. So actually, we are actually going to get to them and make them commit to these responses. And then I guess they also put the pressure where it needs to be. So I think that we are not sitting idle. I mean, we put a statement out, but there's a lot of behind the scenes engagement that is ongoing that we want to make sure they also commit to this. So we are not going to leave anything out, and we are not going to let down on the responsibility of this government to really deal with the issue. They have the opportunity, and I think it's time for them to demonstrate that they really care about the welfare of the people and not just the interest of they winning another election.
Let me do it for the third time to see if I can get the attention of Mr. Austin Gami. Mr. Gami, good afternoon again.
Wow.
And I believe
well, I don't know whether you can hear me. I can't hear you. I'm in Tamale. I'm open to you, but I can see myself on the screen, but I can't hear you.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. So if you cannot hear me, then perhaps we'll have to...
I guess you are asking me about the case, the question of the effect, the pressure that is mounting on government.
Exactly, and how that government can weave around
regarding the Galamsey issues. If you can hear me, can I go on to speak?
Yes, sir.
You know, the case of Galamsey is quite a serious matter. Others are wondering whether the organized labor has a right to talk about this issue. Yes, under the law, under the Labor Act, Section 113, they are expected to be the mouthpiece of working people in this country as organized labor, not just TUC, not just GFL, not just the forum, all of them, including representing people who are not even members of the union. They are supposed to be speaking on socio-economic issues and also regarding the environment. And I've just come to Tamale. If you are in the air, you will see the devastation is massive. And I think that it's appropriate for them to call is for our government, we so cherish, to ensure that they respond positively to the request we are making, because our life is at stake. We all know that water is life. We all know that when the last three is gone, we are all gone. Therefore, it is important that we protect the interests of ourselves. Nobody can come from anywhere to do it for us. So I support the call. Is for the leadership of the country. This is not something that they should send a minister or somebody. Both the flag bearer and the president should co-chair this meeting and ensure that discussion will be, devoid of position, that government will do this, government will do that. We've gone beyond that. If you look at the water and the consequences that it is bringing to our life and our existence, I think it's only fair that they take steps to ensure that we eradicate this terrible, debilitating problem that we have imposed upon ourselves. For not being able to create jobs, these boys and young women are forced into this, but we must endeavor to find ways and means of supporting them to prevent this kind of chaotic disorder in our country.
Well, since you can't hear me, I guess I can't follow up. So we'll leave it here. I'd like to say thank you very much for your contribution, Mr. Austin Gami. Daryl, before you go, so is the group hoping to have a review session anytime soon to look at what you put out, whether there's been a feedback, and then the next forward that you want to take?
Yes, we are listening, and we're already planning a meeting amongst ourselves to reflect on what's the feedback the government is giving us, and then we'll see what we're going to do about it.
All right, now thank you so much. Daryl Bosu is
from Arusha,
Ghana.
Thank you for having me.
And the fight is ongoing, and of course we are also keeping an eye on the Electoral Commission, the news conference they have on the voters register, plus other concerns around the organization of the December 7th general elections. When we come back, we'll deal with that. This is the pulse here on Joy News. We'll take a break and return. Welcome back. This is the pulse here on Joy News. Now, customers of the defunct Menzgold company have today been to the Jubilee House, the seat of government, to present a petition to President Akufo-Addo with some fresh demands after years of chasing their funds, which have been locked up in the gold dealership firm Menzgold. And so they were there. So those are the pictures you're seeing, the frontage of the Jubilee House. Now in the studio is convener Fred Forsem to tell us why today. Fred.
Thank you very much. Today also happens to be the 60th year when the company was collapsed. And so we believe that it's important to get close to the seat of government. And we believe that the president still has our mandate to ensure that he's able to do something to enable us get out of this predicament. Unfortunately, even though every year we keep on knocking at his doors, last year we were fortunate, the matter moved to the High Court. But the retrieval of our money is still outstanding. And lives keep on deteriorating to the extent that we have recorded not less than 226 deaths.
In the last 6 years?
In the last 6 years, 5 of whom committed suicide.
5 of those who have their money locked up with Menzgold?
Committed suicide. Some are currently on the streets, and not on the street because they have gone insane. We don't even know whether they will be able to return home. And so the situation is very dire. The hopelessness is rare, and we believe that His Excellency the President is capable of doing something to help us. Especially in recent times, we've heard that he's been able to give out financial package to other affected customers of the same financial sector cleanup.
In fact, I have the statement right in front of me. A statement that was issued today by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Ghana, dated today, September 12, 2024. And it says that, as announced by the Minister for Finance in his recent monthly economic update, government through the Ministry of Finance has approved the release of amount of 1.5 billion cedis to continue the bailout program to affected investors of the failed fund management companies that had their licenses revoked in 2020. The total amount of 1.5 billion will be released in 3 tranches, commencing with the first tranche of 700 million in August 2024, 400 million in October, and another 400 million in December. And it says that this decision, driven by humanitarian consideration, will provide further financial relief to those impacted by the revocation, including investors of Black Shield Capital Management Limited, as formerly Gold Coast Fund Management, and Crown Capital Limited. So they are getting something.
Good. So we were all affected. And so we believe that if the president is able to do this, is able to offer 1.5 billion to these customers who are equally affected, we believe that he can do same for us. And today we even suggested, as for Menzgold, majority of the assets have been frozen by the state. So even that could be...
Are they really assets?
Yes. We are in court. You know, the matter is in court, and IOCO, so far investigation has established that those assets were frozen, which are in custody of the state.
Right.
So those assets can serve as a guarantee. After all, this bailout, it's not supposed to be the final payment.
Right.
It is to bail them out. So what we are pleading is that why don't the president also bail us out pending the determination of the case? Because right now the matter is in court. We have cooperated fully with the Office of the Attorney General. Everything that they needed from us as customers or as victims,
we've provided.
We have assisted in the ongoing prosecution. We support it fully. What is left is the payment of the money. And since assets have been frozen, it's a guarantee that when you bail us out, at least what you have in your custody can help you to pay off whatever cost that you are going to incur. That is our simple call. And we believe it's in order. Then we're also asking that if that, we believe that when the president is able to do that, then they should also appoint a receiver, an office to ensure that this payment can be done, can be made to the customers. So today our call was very simple. Give us the bailout and appoint a commission and office to oversee the payment to the customers. As simple as that.
And did you get any response from the Deputy Chief of Staff?
Yes, he said the suggestions we have made is very good, especially with the background that we provided in respect of the assets serving as guarantee in the event that government gives us a bailout. And so he's going to submit the petition to the president. In fact, the petition today was to the President of the Republic and to the Vice President and to the Chief of Staff. And we believe that these are the three topmost officials of the state that we believe they are in the position to help us.
I remember when Nana Appiah-Mensah was taken to court.
Yes.
He had already set in motion a program for some validation.
Yes.
To start payments. So what has happened to that exercise?
It was another fraud. I just want to make it simple. He hasn't done any validation. There's no evidence that he has done any validation. And I don't even see how the suspect can validate the victims. I mean, I haven't seen any example anywhere. We believe that the real or genuine validation could only be done by the state. So at this point, he doesn't even have the authority to even validate anybody because government is shut down. So how did you do the validation? Your office are shut down. Where? Where did you do it? How was it supervised? And at the moment, he's in court. Maybe what happened last year was that he brought some 2.5 million Ghana cedis. It's a further guarantee that when the president gives us a bailout, that money can be used to defray the whatever cost the government will incur in later years. So our case, I don't see how the Menzgold issue should be so difficult for us to do. And today, the Chief of Staff more or less agreed with the proposal that we have made. That is a laudable one, but in his own way, when you play the clip, it's a laudable one because these assets are there. Yes, come to our aid. Because lives are being lost.
Right.
I'm telling you, 226.
In the last 6 years.
In the last 6 years. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, one of them, in my hands at 37 Military Hospital, Nana Kisi. He was very popular wherever we go. In fact, when you came there today, somebody was saying, why is your number dwindling? And I said, all the energetic guys who used to be with us, most of them have died. And I'm telling you, most of them, the young ones, some dying of diabetes, have died. All because of this issue. So, it should be treated with that alacrity, like the way we are handling the Galamsey in the week. To the extent that lives are being lost day in and day out. Even this 226 is minus the 3 that I was told just 3 days ago. Just 3 days ago in Kaswa.
So we're going to listen to the Deputy Attorney General on this matter.
It's a very laudable proposal. You came here with a suggestion of a way out. 6 years, honestly, is quite a long time for us to find some solution to this issue. I'm particularly delighted that you said you have cooperated with the Attorney General's office so that the parts that have to do with the legal regime is upheld. This is clearly a passionate appeal to the President to come to your aid. I will convey the sentiments as expressed here exactly as they are. And knowing the President, I'm sure he will act. I cannot define the parameters within which he would act, but I am sure that he will pay close attention to this, and in due course, he will hear something from his office directly, either from his
And that there is Mr. Adumwa Bosman. He is the Deputy Chief of Staff at the Office of the President. Fred, before I let you go, so, I mean, it's 6 years and counting. You still have hope. that government will do something for you?
Yes, we still have hope. I mean, like I said, the mandate of the president ends on 5th January 2025.
For 7th.
6th January.
The midnight of
yes. And we have set the dates to be 1st November at least by that time, because we are yet to take another decision, far-reaching decision. I hope I understand. The decision of deciding who should run this country for the next 4 years. 2018, something happened. We want to see how caring the state of Ghana is to enable us decide or to partake in deciding who is capable or whether we should partake in the next election.
Right.
It's very crucial. Because what we are going to do is about life and death. Now we are seeing that it's about life and death. So we want to call on His Excellency the President to come to our aid and help us to stop the further death among the citizens of Ghana.
All right, thank you so much for saying it's convener for those affected by the collapse of Menzgold, and they have their money locked up. The appeal is for government to come to their aid and pay them, just as it has done for some other individuals and groups. Now, to the election headquarters, the opposition NDC has issued a strong call for the immediate arrest and prosecution of the New Patriotic Party's MB parliamentary candidate for Sujaman in the Eastern Region, Pius Hadije. The demand comes after Mr. Hadije publicly admitted for the first time that he played a role in facilitating the travel of some Ghanaians to Australia during the 2018 Commonwealth Games.
Ako Australia, na nanumuni masembi. Ufri Ghana, na uko Australia. Ubetina eloplemu 18 hours. Enukrano, nipabi etumidi mechi yako. World Cup eba, ayeba bebo afifufra ayeba bewremu yi. Yebe no ewa America. Enunu 7 hours pe na wedu America. Nananum semu pesemu manumu enko America no munko bobra na sikebi emrefia to abane mami uye bebuno ewa paso uye bebuno ewa desase uye bebuno ewa Newtown na upese utukwa mi Pius mi be ye we epia mi di ube tukwa mi di ube ko na mino mi tise ampim na yamawa kanya na wodi usako se udemne fem na eduma na yedi ase usase bua nipa no ontumi hwa no twi na obi foforo so embe ya usimi ntwe konongo kaya nintesa etimeno uye bebu no na opese utukwan uko Germany uko America uko UK uko France bebi a opese ubeko bia no ubuami a misumi nya akwanya misumi buao
Well, Mr. Hadije's admission has sparked controversy, especially as it coincides with his current campaign for parliamentary office. Speaking at a news conference today, Deputy National Communication Officer of the NDC, Malik Basintali, said his arrest is non-negotiable.
On this note, we know that this declaration may be a mission impossible, because Pius Hadije is not just learning from himself, he's learning from his boss, the chief mother serpent of corruption, Mr. Akufo-Addo, and his deputy, the chief liar, Bawulaya, aka Takumia. Dismissal of Pius Hadije as the CEO for the National Youth Authority. Immediate dismissal. Immediate. He has clearly admitted that he was guilty in the Australian visa scandal. And I thought by now, Mr. Akufo-Addo would be looking for me to give me my stone. Because I told him that Pius Hadije, we are calling for his immediate dismissal. And not just that he should be dismissed, his immediate prosecution should recommence. Because we never saw the report that after the investigations were done in his Australian visa scandal. It is better to investigate a thief before he steals than to wait for him to steal before you investigate him. Now that we know his intentions, in law, attempted murder is equal to murder. So attempted forgery, attempted fraud is equal to fraud.
Still in the election headquarters, and of course, we're still waiting. If we get a signal from the Electoral Commission, we'll take you live there. But the flag bearer of the Movement for Change, now Alliance for Revolutionary Change, Alan Kojo Chematem, has put his best bet to winning the 2024 presidential elections on his credential as a public servant over the years. The former Trade and Industry Minister, who served as a minister in other portfolios and a former President Kufuor in various regional bodies, believes his years of experience makes him the best choice for voters come December 7. He said this after filing his nominations at the Electoral Commission headquarters on Wednesday.
It has been clear to me that the people of this country are looking for a president who will fight for the interests of Ghana and not for the interests of political parties. They are looking for a president who will bring Ghana out of our economic crisis. But they are also looking for a president who will reconcile the nation and unite the nation and not to divide the nation. But beyond that, they are also looking for a government, a president who will bring into being a truly representative, all-inclusive government of national unity, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But they are also looking for a president who will lead the process of constitutional reforms that will improve the quality of governance in our country. And last but not the least, they are looking for a president who will inspire behavioral, attitudinal, and mindset change amongst Ghanaians. And it is clear that today is a day that most Ghanaians have been waiting for, that Alan Chematem will file his nomination to contest as the first non-partisan president for the Republic of Ghana. Because Ghanaians believe that I'm the man that can get the job done. I have the vision, I have the competence, I also have the integrity and then the capacity for execution. And today I'm putting it to rest. Alan has filed his nomination, and I personally appeal for your support in December this year.
All right, this is the pause, and of course, your election headquarters. We'll take a short break because there's still a lot of activity happening at the Electoral Commission office. The CPP flag bearer, Akusia Kumankuma, just also filed her nomination papers with the Electoral Commission. We'll have details for you shortly. Welcome back. Now, in less than 24 hours, prospective homeowners seeking to acquire and purchase all housing needs will gather at the Guard Park near the Accra Mall, where the train of the final mini clinic of this year's EcoBank Joint Habitat Fair is making a stop starting tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll bring you the pulse live from the Accra Mall, 13th September. And the mini clinic will run from tomorrow till Sunday, 15th September 2024. Already, exhibitors and organizers are promising patrons a one-stop shop for everything housing. My colleague Carlos Caloni has been visiting some of the exhibition companies, and here's his report.
Elegant Homes, a proudly Ghanaian-owned real estate company, has been delivering exceptional housing solution for nearly 2 decades. Curious about their latest ventures? Well, meet Dorothy Ifua-Kwashi, the visionary executive director leading the charge at Elegant Homes.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Kwashi, and I welcome you to Elegant Homes. Elegant Homes has been in the industry for about 20 years now. we have executed some landmark projects like Regional Administrative Office for the Lands Commission of Ghana, 5-story lecture block, and 5-story library complex for the University of Professional Studies, and some other recognizable projects. Today we are here at Elegant Courts. You're wondering what is cooking here? Join me as I walk you through what we have to offer. Here we are at the Beulah Close. This is a community within Elegant Homes. Anybody who wants to come to the Beulah Close passes through a security gate. Right from the security gate at the entrance, you have to pass through another security gate to get access to the Beulah Close. The concept here is different, as you can see. There are no fence walls, and it's more like the American concepts, where we have some of our elegant story buildings for our clients. Maybe you want to explore and get to know what it is in the story building. Come with me as we go in to look at the details of it. What you see in the shot is one of our prestigious 4-bedroom detached house within the Beulah Close. This house has these features: a living and a dining area, a fitted kitchen with a store, a home office or a study. You have 2 car garages. You have a terrace that can host about 40 people for a cocktail, and 1-bedroom boys' quarters.
With a remarkable portfolio of properties that blend luxury and quality, DevTraco Group's developments stand out for their signature style, each expertly crafted with precision and artistry. Meet Eugene Techefio, the company's dynamic senior marketing associate.
You're welcome to the group offices of DevTraco. My name is Eugene Techefio. I am the Senior Marketing Associate at DevTraco. DevTraco is a well-known name when it comes to real estate in Ghana and beyond Ghana, and this is our group office. DevTraco Group comprises of a number of subsidiaries, and I'll start off with DevTraco Limited. DevTraco Limited is a very well-known name when it comes to affordable homes for the average Ghanaian. And we are the name behind properties such as DevTraco Courts at Tema Community 25 and DevTraco Villas at Tema Community 18. The other company in the subsidiary is DevTraco Plus, and like the name Plus suggests, there's a little extra. The individual who is looking for something with a little extra.
So tomorrow we'll make our way to the Accra Mall for the final clinic before the main events at the Accra International Conference Center. Let me just pick some few words from Stella Ayebia Beidu, Marketing and Sales Manager at Landmark Furnitures, and of course Dorothy Efuakwasi, Executive Director of Elegant Homes. So also Billy Joseph Tamate, Senior Sales Consultant at DevTraco Plus. So Billy, Dorothy, what are we to expect tomorrow?
Hello.
Yes, please go on.
Good evening, listeners. Tomorrow is going to be very exciting because Habitat Fair, I believe, tomorrow will be the very first time that we'll be hosting it at Accra Mall. And tomorrow, patrons should expect the very best from Elegant Homes. As usual, we are giving a 10% discount. We are giving a free video doorbell. We are giving you 10% discount on our UPVC windows as well. And then come inquire about how you can own one of our lovely properties, and then we'll help you to own one.
Okay, let me also pick what Stella from Sales and Marketing and Landmark Furniture is offering us. So Stella, what should I expect when I get there? I mean, I love furniture, and I love nice furniture too.
Hello.
Yes, Stella, I can hear you.
Okay, good evening to you all. So, our clients should expect something beautiful. We are coming with a 20% discount sale for all our clients who will be coming tomorrow. And we are presenting a lot of new design that will fit everyone's taste with beautiful colors as well.
So, and then I guess there will be some discount as well.
Yes, please. There will be a 20% discount.
Okay. Billy, if you can also hear me, Def Traco, is there something cooking for us tomorrow?
You know how we do it at Def Traco. We always have something cooking. And it's interesting that this fair came at the very right time. It came just at the time we launched the Address Hotel. And also just about the time we launched the Woodlands. Woodlands is a gated community, ultra-modern facility, high-end stuff we're doing here at Def Traco. So this program came at the right time. So we have all of this on the offering for clients who will be visiting the stands, and even for those who can make it, would encourage that you reach out to the team online, because we have all of these offers for you. So Woodlands is up, the Address Hotel is up, prices are very affordable, and trust me, you're getting a lot of discounts on all of these deals coming up. So we can't wait to see you. We are so excited, and we'll be there to meet you all and assist you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Billy. Thank you so much, Stella, and of course, tomorrow through to Sunday, all of us will make the Accra Mall our home. And by the time we leave, we'll have a home that we're going to make. We'll have a house that we're going to make it a home. And we'll have all the interiors that we will need to go through it. The Electoral Commission news conference is yet to start. When it's on, we'll bring that to you live here on Journey. But there is more stories on myjoyonline.com. Interesting story that we have there for you. President Akufo-Addo orders police and military deployment to crack down on Galamsey amid calls for action. You might want to visit My Joy Online for the details and more. But that's our show. Tomorrow, same time at 3 p.m. Of course, from the Accra Mall, we'll bring you another exciting edition of the pause, where we'll speak to exhibitors and those who will come through to buy a house or to buy anything that they want to take home. Until then, whatever you are up to in the hours ahead, I hope it's profitable. My name is Elton Brobe. Have a good evening and take care.